Just not getting it.
And that brings me to finish this sentence. Yes, a new game. Finish this sentence. I'm going to start a sentence, and then normally, if it's only one person I'm interviewing, but today, since it's a new game, we're going to go around the table, and we're going to let everybody finish the sentence. Now, remember, there are 4 people finishing the sentence, so finish the sentence, not write a novel. Finishing the sentence. Okay, so, Brian, we will start with you. First question is, before I go to bed tonight, finish the sentence.
Do I finish the whole sentence, or do I just say one word?
Whatever it is
Because
before
then I
you
know if it just kept going.
Yeah,
No. Oh, that would be
the
interesting.
beginning of the sentence is before I go to bed tonight.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Before I go to bed tonight.
Before I go to bed tonight, I'm gonna have to tell my mom happy birthday.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Before I go to bed tonight?
Before I go to bed tonight, I probably watch TV, be lazy, do nothing.
Lame.
Yeah, it is. It is lame. It's nice.
It's nice though. Yeah.
Before I go to bed tonight, I'm gonna have to find time to get him a cigar and a Rieger Manhattan. That'll be mandatory.
And that sounds like the Chris O'Connor that we
Yes.
got. Now, female. Before I go to bed tonight.
I'll probably play with the cat.
Okay. Because he
That
is.
just sounds like a euphemism.
Yeah, I was gonna say that didn't sound right.
It's a real cat.
You're
He gets
okay.
very. We haven't been spending much time with him, and he's getting very angry about it.
He is getting a little angry about it. Actually, it's kind of funny. As soon as I get up tomorrow.
As soon as I get up tomorrow, I'm gonna hit the gym.
As soon as I get up tomorrow, I have to pet the cat. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. As soon as I get up, as soon as I get up tomorrow, I gotta shower, shave, and get out the door, go to work.
All right.
So I will be doing one of 2 things, and I just don't know which, honestly. I'll either be going to the gym as well, or I will be going to Las Vegas.
Okay.
Maybe wow.
I vote for Vegas.
I'd go for Vegas.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Vegas.
No, if I had a vote, I'd be in Vegas. I wouldn't be here.
As soon as I get up tomorrow,
Take a shower.
take a shower. Yeah.
Actually, probably make coffee.
Yeah.
Then take a shower.
Yeah, really. Whenever I feel nervous.
Whenever I feel nervous, I become extroverted.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Huh.
Whenever I get nervous, I get really warm, a little flustered.
That sounds about it. No.
Yeah,
Petting the cat.
petting the cat.
I should have known better.
Yeah, that would be the line of the night.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could always go back to the I knew better, but I
Did it anyway.
Whenever I get nervous, I will do the exact thing, because I guess I equate nervousness with a kind of a fear, and fear is just the thing I despise most in the world, so I will do whatever it takes to conquer that fear at that moment.
Okay. Whenever I get nervous.
I just shut down. That's probably the best way to describe it.
Okay. All right. Ever since I was a child.
Ever since I was a child.
5 years ago.
Brian is the youngest member of our panel, by the way.
That's ever since I was a child, I wanted to learn the piano.
Okay.
That's a good one.
It is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I was a child, I wanted to pet Kitty. No, ever since I was a child, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have anything. Ever since I was a child, I don't know. Ever since I was a child, I've been a Yankees fan.
Okay.
That's for sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's not.
You guys probably already know this. I think we've talked about it many times. But ever since I was a child, I wanted to retire at 50 and move to Puerto Vallarta and live on the beach.
Yes.
Yes,
There you go.
I think you have talked about
Yeah.
We
That's
have
awesome.
heard that.
Yes, that is still the plan.
It gives us another place to visit.
it. There you go.
Exactly right.
Ever since I was a child.
I wanted to learn how to paint.
You can come to my house. We got an entryway you can paint. Teach you how to do it.
Pictures. I wanted
Oh.
to paint pictures.
As long as I live.
Yeah, this is hard being first. It's a challenge.
How come you're not answering?
My game.
You always answer all the other ones.
One of these days, I will actually play. Today, I'm playing. I'm the
Alright.
question person for the panel.
Huh.
As long as I live, I will always be the city boy of my family.
Okay.
As long as I live, we will not own a cat. And I do mean a real cat.
As long as I live, I will not lose. Even the times I screw up, I'll learn from them and come back stronger and will not lose.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Can you just skip me?
If you'd like to skip your turn.
Boo.
As long as I live, I will be the family organizer.
Yes. This is very true.
I am the one that has to make all the decisions.
That's like power though.
Yeah, her
But
Yes, but it's horrible power because it's like
brother and sister-in-law
Everybody
would
is so
disagree,
in-
but it's the truth.
everybody is so indecisive, including me. So it's really like it just sucks to be the one that has to make the decisions.
Just as I was falling asleep last night.
just as I was falling asleep, you know, I have a quote. If you can believe this or not, I have a giant whiteboard in my room, which I do math and data analysis and different things on because that's
Money
just my
laundering.
thing. Money laundering
Right,
plans,
right.
business plans.
Business plans.
But I have a quote that I keep up there, and it's always the last thing that I read and everything. So, just as I was falling asleep, I always think I can't afford to not see what my greatest is.
Okay.
That's a good quote.
That is a great quote.
Just as I was falling asleep last night.
Don't say anything about a cat.
No, it had nothing to do with that. Actually, one of my favorite episodes of Family Guys came on, so I had to sit up and watch it.
All right.
Fell asleep with the TV on there.
Yeah.
Not much else going there.
Before I go to bed every night, I do the same thing, and I always track the 5 best things that happened to me that day and the 5 things I want to do better the next day.
Okay.
And,
That's real life goal stuff.
Just as I was falling asleep last night. I don't even remember falling asleep last night. Honestly.
I say you hit the
Second
pillow
bottle
and
of wine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like I hit the pillow when did I even hit the pillow?
Not sure, to tell you the truth. As you were actually leaning toward the pillow, you were already asleep.
I think so. There was nothingness.
My best friend.
My best friend will always be there for me.
My best friend lives on the other side of the state, and even though we don't see each other very often or talk very often, every single time we meet up, and it can be years apart, it's like we have never been apart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I get that.
Strangely, my best friend is a 68-year-old man who I met while smoking cigars, and we have hung out almost every night for 4 years. I mean, he's a very good friend of this show.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
My best friend
Yes.
and I share a brain. Her mom calls it the hive.
I have witnessed the hive. I
We've
thought
actually
it was just
sucked other people into it.
I thought it was just a joke until I saw them form the hive. And
Is his name Tyler Durden?
No. My best friend and I, we've been friends since we were 15, so.
I have never.
I have, the thing that always pops up, I have never smoked marijuana.
Go home.
You don't know what you're
just
missing. Hey, he learned, never get high on his own supply.
There you go.
Money laundering, selling drugs.
There you go.
You learned that. Smart man.
They're connecting the dots.
Yeah. If the feds are listening, no. I've never gone skydiving, and I really want to do that.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I've never quit anything, like good or bad.
Okay.
For the better or the worse, but
Okay.
not a quitter.
All right.
You just let it die naturally.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a bad quality.
I have never been arrested.
You don't know what you're
That's
missing.
one of them.
No, just kidding.
Knock on wood.
I know.
Came close.
There we go. Politicians.
That's just, all right, politicians.
Just finish the sentence.
I feel like you really don't need to say anything else.
Yeah, I kind of want to cut period. Politicians, period.
Or question mark.
Yeah, or a question mark.
Politicians know the game.
Politicians, I think sometimes I think they're like attorneys and cops, where you don't like them until you need them.
That's probably true.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
Well, you don't know when you need them, I
Applies to all
think,
that.
a lot of times.
That's the problem.
A little bit of a gray
That's why
area.
it's like easy to not want them or need them.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I think almost not exactly opposite, but not in a slightly different vein. I think politicians are best when they do nothing at all.
I'd agree with that.
So that makes me very happy when nothing gets done.
You have said that before.
Many times.
I know, and it was all I could do not to get into a debate because I know part of the reason is because Chris likes to.
Well, and so many times
Like
they
his-
do things just because they feel the need they got to do them to prove themselves, right? I mean, they're just.
Yeah.
Prove that why they deserve to keep getting paid.
And I also
Exactly.
I don't know what
Prove
the
your own
government does
existence.
well. So I'm like, oh, I'd rather you just not do anything.
Right.
Politicians.
Are out of touch.
I'll go with that.
Yeah,
Yep.
good one.
That's a good
I'll go with that.
That's good.
Go. Parents.
Parents actually have no idea what they're doing.
Fair.
I think most of them will agree with that.
I would say parents, I don't think are really truly appreciated by their children until their children become adults.
Very true. Very true, I think.
Yeah, and I think this probably goes along with that. I would say, at least as far as the parents I know, most of the parents mean the best even when they're doing the worst.
Yeah.
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 Most of the time, I think that is true.
Parents can be so frustrating, but you love them anyway.
Very true.
I got one more to add, just in case my brother's listening.
Sure.
Parents have a favorite.
I think most of them would disagree with that.
Yeah,
Secretly.
Secretly.
Agree.
Yeah, they would secretly agree. Yeah. Once I dreamt that.
Once, I dreamt that I was in a jousting match. That happened, and it was pretty crazy.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay, so this was a reoccurring dream for about a couple months, but once I dreamt that I was in a room on a tall building, like a skyscraper type building, and the inside of the room was perfectly well appointed, manicured, really nice, paint, all that kind of stuff. But everything outside of that room was like a worn, torn, like after the bomb was dropped in Hiroshima, kind of blown away. And the room would sway back and forth, and I always had this feeling that I was going to fall out of the building and fall to my death.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yikes.
For a couple months?
Yeah, for a couple months it went on like every other night.
Wow.
Huh.
Something
That would
special
be-
happening
I
in
would
your
say
life?
that
No,
would-
I have no clue.
That would
Like, I'm
be
always trying to
interesting
figure
to
out what
really
that's.
like dig into what that
Yeah,
meant.
Analyze that.
Yeah.
Once I dreamt that I could actually remember any of my dreams. I just never. I don't know of any dreams. I don't remember them ever.
Huh.
I'm the same
I
way.
can't think of them at all.
You don't remember any dreams either?
I can remember them when I first wake up. And if I don't say something or write it down, I don't remember them.
Okay.
Although I do have to say that I dream about people I'm around dying all the time. It's not the same person. It's just like I'm witnessing them dying type thing. And it's not like somebody's killing them. It's like, like they get in a car wreck or they just die or whatever, but
Oh, that's way better.
Yeah.
Great.
Way to
it's
put
not like some torturous death.
way to put a good spin on that.
There we go. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna use that as your once I dreamt that. We're gonna just use that.
What?
That. We're gonna use that. That's it right there. So, Christmas.
Christmas time is family time.
Christmas is actually my favoritist, I'll use bad English, favoritist time of the year. I mean, I love it. I'm like a kid all over again. You get a real Christmas tree, watch all the old movies, all the old cartoons, the claymation ones, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know what it is, it's just, I love it.
Awesome.
And it's funny, like, I've grown to be the exact opposite. Like, Christmas means so much less to me now than it did when I was younger. It just, I think a lot of it is not having kids and not having that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's not a big thing to me.
Not a big deal.
No, it's a neat time of year, man. It's cold and I hate being cold.
Yes, we know you're
That's
summer.
awesome.
You're warm weather.
Yeah, give me 4th of July.
Christmas for me is tradition because we, my mom and I have we have a pretty solid tradition of getting up early and making meatballs and spaghetti and watching The Quiet Man, and all of that has to happen.
There you go.
And cookies. We have cookie day, which is so stressful.
A
but
long and involved day.
It really is like a whole day. We get started at 10 and we usually end about 7 or 8.
There's got to be some cookies.
Oh yeah. They
Well, we make
dozens
every
and
one of the
dozens.
kids, there's
Oh.
4 kids, and then
crap.
whatever the adults want. But the kids get to pick what type of cookie they want. And
It's enough for every household to take.
Yeah,
home
we all
several,
take,
several.
yeah,
Wow.
thousands.
Yeah.
we probably
it's
do
all
about 10 to 12
family
dozen
recipes.
cookies.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's all
That's
family
awesome.
recipes, yeah, so it's actually pretty cool. I get really angry when.
I get really angry when people don't use their blinker.
That is so good. That's so true. I get really angry when you're driving, especially on an interstate, and that person sits just on your back right corner panel to where you can't get over, but you can't see them all the time, so you have no clue what's happening back there. And you're just like, so you speed up, and then they speed up with you, and it's like, okay, this isn't a race. I'm just trying to give us distance so I can feel comfortable. And yeah.
All that, yes.
Oh,
It is funny that all of us relate to road rage. So I really get pissed when there's clearly a line of cars and you get the a-hole who comes on the side.
Oh, yeah.
They're the extra special person in the world.
Yeah.
No, you're really not. You need to be in the back of the line.
Yeah.
I could just go on and on about things that make me mad when I'm driving.
So just,
Walking
I get
to
angry
the
when
car.
I drive.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I get into the road rage frame of mind walking to my vehicle.
Yeah.
I do. Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's probably how Mario feels sometimes, because every so often he's like, babe,
It's okay.
it's like truly a completely different person when I'm driving.
She much prefers me to drive.
My mom is like, hey, call me when you get home. if I'm talking to her.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is one I actually will answer. I hate slow drivers.
Yeah.
Drives me bananas. I'm like, look, Slowby Wan Kenobi, drive the fucking car. It's straight, you know what? It's because it's especially when you can't tell any good reason why they're driving so damn slow.
Yeah.
Other than they're probably doing the speed limit.
Yes. Going on vacation.
Going on vacation. Going on vacation is. It takes me back to, I guess, being a kid. You're excited to go. There's nothing else like it.
Kind of along that same line is going on vacation when you were younger seems like it was so much easier or less stressful.
Because you weren't planning it.
Well, one, you weren't planning it. Two, it was like if you were going on a plane, you just like walked through the metal detector and you didn't have to deal with all that stuff. Or, if you got a kid and you drove out there, it was just, kind of, because again, you weren't the one driving, it was just a little bit more fun and all that kind of stuff. And nowadays, it's going on vacation, it's sometimes you think of all the work that's piling up that you need a vacation after that vacation, just because of all the work that you have to walk into afterwards that just built up, that it's almost not worth that vacation.
I do understand that.
I love to travel, so vacations to me are everything. I'm generally traveling a lot for work, so a trip where you're not actually having to work is kind of nice. And it's one of the very, very few times I completely relax and kind of let go, and maybe takes a day on each side for that to happen. But man, I mean, it's just heaven to me.
Going on vacation is. I was just imagining it.
But I say
Yes.
you should see her face. She found her happy place. She is on vacation in her mind right now. Yeah, this is actually another one I'll answer, and I will make I'll make a disclosure to the group. I don't know if I feel like I've ever actually been on vacation. I've had some time off, and I suppose I have. I've gone and visited friends in other cities, and but I guess nothing
Not to
where
where you just unplug and nobody can get a hold of you.
Yeah, just completely unplugged. 90% of the time going on vacation for me is going home and visiting my parents, and generally they have 73 things that they need done around the house, and so really I do housework and other chores all through what should be a vacation, but so I guess going on vacation for me is but a dream still. I'm like, I need one of those. There was two questions on here that made me go, I think I want to play this game. One was politicians, and the other was this one because I couldn't wait to hear Chris O'Connor's answer, but we'll get to you because having my hair cut.
Say that one more time?
Having my hair cut.
Oh, having my hair cut, I feels it's a nice experience. One of the few service, I guess, experiences I feel like I get that often.
Yeah.
So having my hair cut has been a challenge over the past couple years, trying to find a good barber. So I used to have a good barber, then I had another good barber, then she left to go take care of her kids. Then the barber that plays her, great old guy, but he was getting old and he started getting kind of the old shaky hands and forgetting things, and that wasn't making for very good haircuts. And then I went to another barber and they weren't very good. And then finally I found a good barber again. And I'm just waiting for that just to fall out from underneath it. Just back to having terrible haircuts.
I'm gonna throw out that the problem is that you're looking for a barber when you should be looking for a stylist, and a haircut is as close to God as I will ever come on this earth.
Which is why, ladies and gentlemen, out there in
Chris, can you
podcast
tell
land,
everybody how often you
I
get
get
your
my
haircut?
haircut every Thursday at noon, and it is just an amazingly great experience. And yes, it plays into my vanity issues, but it is like, it feels so good. They give you the whole head massage, the whole thing. You're always looking good. I hate the awkward, just after a haircut is too short, then you wait 4 weeks and it's too long, so you only really get 2 decent weeks with a haircut. I will pay. I have one good thing going for me, and that's decent hair. So I'm going to make sure that it is all right, and I love it.
He has more than one good thing going for him.
That's about it.
So do you get your hair cut at a strip club? Because I never walk out of mine thinking that it's like the greatest experience of my life.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Maybe you should.
Well, that's why,
haircut
that's the
information.
difference of a barber and a stylist.
Well, no,
Because my stylist massages my head and does all of
No,
that.
I love my barber, and I like a barber because I've been to a couple stylists, and it's just the way I like to get my hair cut. They know how to do it just right, and that's just every time I've gone to a stylist, it's, oh, you want this, and then I walk out looking like a poodle, and it's like, okay, it's like when you want to look like a bulldog, you don't want to walk out looking like a poodle. You know?
All right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I kind of want to expand on this. So, at what point did you start doing the once a week? How did you find a place?
It's been about a year, and I had a friend who was truly a phenomenal stylist. She's a Veda trained. She worked at a very famous place in New York for a long time, and then had kind of gone out of work for a little while to have some kids and stuff, and then wanted to get back to work. And so I started going to her salon. She was phenomenal. And then when she left, she hooked me up with another great person who worked there.
What is her name?
Well, my friend's name was Sarah Beck, but the girl I go to now, her name's Angie Odekirk. She's down at Jamie Miller Airport, which is awesome. So I went to her for last year, and now I kind of split time between her and a girl named Shauna who also works there. So they're both great. They're both phenomenal.
Awesome.
Very cool.
I do agree with you though. That 4th week is just brutal.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And I can't stand that. It drives me nuts.
Well, as short as your hair is,
It gets way too long.
I would say I can't imagine you being able to wait.
This was done on Friday. Yeah, Friday. So I
Yeah.
had mine cut on Friday, and this week and next week will be fine. That 3rd week will start to get, but then that 4th week, you're right. It's just like it's too it shelves out because again it's real short on the side. So then it starts. to
So
shelf
that's
out.
a no travel week for you, right? It's like, no, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to come the week after.
Yeah, I still end up having to travel, but I would schedule it for that Friday. So when I land, the next day I can always go in and get a haircut.
I always feel those like buying clothes or something like that. It's like, I know that I'm not the best dresser. I know that I'm not the best chef. I just need somebody I can trust. Like, you have a haircut you like, so that's awesome.
Right.
I don't know what
Yeah.
looks good on me. I have no idea. So I just want to go to somebody who knows what the hell they're doing and goes, this is the best I can do. Like a professional.
Right.
So,
Fix me.
I mean, I'm not a stylish man. I just do my one thing.
And that's why I like a barber, because I know the way I want my hair to be cut. It's just I know that the barbers are the best guys because that's how they've been trained.
Yes,
with the
yeah.
short hair, with a guy's haircut. Where if I go to a stylist, they're wanting a little bit more
Well,
hair,
you
a little
really-
bit more to do with.
Yeah, I want
Yeah,
something
and
like
you
a
really want a
magazine.
stylist
Yeah.
that is comfortable with men's hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them actually train on that, but
Yeah.
it's hard to find.
I want them to keep up with the latest fashions, the latest styles, like,
Yeah.
do all that kind of stuff. I don't like my hair done the same way all the time. Can't do it.
My,
I have to change.
My stylist, well, I'm changed to her, but we met her when my daughter was 5. She's the only person that's ever cut her hair. She's 17 now. She's been cutting my hair probably half that long. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
at least 8 years.
Wow.
But she's a Veda trained too.
Oh yeah. Good
Yeah.
channel, some good people.
And it is, getting my hair cut is awesome.
I know from my dad. So my dad's been going to the same barber since. My family moved out here in the early 90s, like 89 or 90, right?
Mm-hmm.
So same guy, all that kind of stuff. And my dad's real particular about his hair. When that guy retires or dies, it's going to be the end of the world for my dad, and it's going to be hell for my mom. And it's going to be interesting to wait for that to happen.
It's funny how my dad was going to the same barber for a long time. I don't know if he's still around or not, but I'm like, you just get stuck on a person, and they know you trust them. Like, I've had some pretty crappy haircuts.
Yeah,
in my time.
that's the
And
reason.
that's horrible when
Yeah.
you leave and like, all you can do is wait for it to grow out and get it cut again.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
a mohawk once.
Ooh.
And my hair grows so slow, it's ridiculous.
Shoot, that's why I started cutting my own hair. And I had when I was young, my first barber I can remember, he was good, he was an older guy. And then he was getting ready to retire, and I started going to this other guy. He had this small shop. The entire shop was probably as big as this room, might even be smaller. And the walls were completely covered with photos and newspaper clippings, mostly from like the civil rights era. And it was like even pictures with him, with Martin Luther King, pictures of him and Malcolm X, pictures of him and Louis Farrakhan, pictures of him and anybody who was somebody in the civil rights era. And that was always amazing, just an amazing piece of history going in that shop. And I grew to love going to the barber. One, I always loved how he cut my hair, but sitting and listening to all the old men talk, that was just the greatest thing for me. I think I used to love sitting and listening to them tell the old stories and oh yeah, you remember the times. And then when he retired, it took years before I found another barber that I liked, and I went to him for a year or two, and he was a younger guy, and then he moved way out in the suburbs. You know, I'm originally from Chicago, so you know, going from the city to like a western suburb that takes an hour to drive to, I'm not doing that. And so after that, I started cutting my own hair, because I actually cut a lot of my friends' hair anyway. So I just like, you know what, I'm just going to learn how to cut my own hair, because I can't deal with this. And ever since, I still always want to find a new barber, but I haven't felt comfortable trying anybody out. I've got one friend that he goes to a guy, and his hair is always good, and he's the same way. He gets his hair cut every week or two, and I think about that guy, but I don't know. I'm just at this point. I've been cutting it myself for so many years. I don't know if I want to do that. So, talking to a drunk.
Oh.
Talking to a drunk is either, talking to a drunk is either all truth or all lies.
Talking to a drunk is something I try to avoid because a lot of times the conversations are incoherent, the two ends don't meet. Unless I'm drunk and that person's drunk, then it's okay. But if I'm sober and that person's drunk,
Yeah, you kind of have to qualify.
Yeah.
and even if I'm
Am I
drunk,
drunk
I
or
don't like
sober?
to talk to sober people either.
Yeah, I was going to say talking to a drunk is awesome, because I'm usually drunk too. And so I have an amazing conversation about something fun. So I love it.
Talking to a drunk?
It's frustrating.
Okay. Yeah. Generally, because you're never drunk. So.
Because you're sober.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's same for me. I'm
just thinking of.
I'm usually
Yeah.
fairly sober, and I can talk to anybody, but talking to a drunk when I'm stone sober is super difficult, to say the least. A millionaire.
Is what everyone wants to be.
Because I was thinking, that's what I want to be.
See? There you go.
I was going to say, in this day and age, I think a millionaire is what a lot of people despise, but everybody wants to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
And I would just think a millionaire is a frustrated billionaire.
Very true.
I go with you on that, actually.
There's really nothing I can add to that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Yeah, I think
pretty
I
much
think
true.
you're all right, actually.
Yeah.
I think everybody wants to be a millionaire, and a millionaire. In fact, I heard an interview earlier today, actually, and was a young rap artist, and he was talking about when he first realized he had first made his first $1 million, and then he was like, "Oh, this is so awesome!" And he bought some stuff. He bought a house. He bought, and then he said, so then after taxes, he had like 300 grand, and he was like, "This is what I've been striving to be. It's what I've been striving to do. Now I need more than this." So I think you're right. I think everybody wants to be a
It
millionaire.
doesn't go as far as you think it does.
Oh no.
I never think it's a matter of what you can and can't buy with the money. I think it's a matter of your drive. So if you have this drive to become a millionaire, trust me, once you hit $1 million, you're going to want 10
Then
million.
you want 10 million.
And then you're going to want
100
$1 billion.
million,
Yeah, I mean, you're the kind of person who's not satisfied, right?
Yeah.
And that I think is admirable.
And I think that goes to a point of, you look at a lot of the guys like a Warren Buffett, who's got more money than he could ever spend, but yet he doesn't stop doing what he's doing.
Sure.
He's still doing it. So at that point, it's people sit there and say, well, when is enough money enough? Well, you have to understand, you look at it from a concept of, for you, when you look at it, it's money. On
Right.
his side, it's not money, it's proving that he's successful at what he does, proving himself to himself that he's good at what he does,
Exactly.
and going out there and doing it all the time, because that's his form of joy, his form of satisfaction in a way, and to your point is that kind of drive.
Sure.
At that point, once you've hit 100 million, and again, I think at that point it ceases to really cease to be about the money. At first it's that first million, then the second million, the third million. But once you get to a point where you just randomly buy whatever you want, it ceases to be about that money.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
absolutely.
And you stop thinking about all the stuff you can buy, because at some point you're just like, well, now I'm just buying stuff. Who cares about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And last but not least, when it rains,
When it rains, I really wish I owned an umbrella.
Yeah.
When it rains, I smile on the inside. I actually like it when it rains. Especially, I love a good thunderstorm. The thunder, the lightning, I don't know what it is, but I kind of like that nature's chaos, if you will, that storm coming through.
I love a good evening storm, so for me, when it rains, I'll go out on my deck, I will have a cigar, I'll have a drink, and I'll turn on some good music and just chill out with my dog and have just a relaxing, fun night.
Yeah, I like when it rains. It's very relaxing to me if I'm not in it or driving.
Or driving.
Or without an umbrella.
I don't even mind. I don't even mind that if it's renewal.
Yeah. Yeah. It depends. For me, I think if I'm out in it, I just want to get to some shelter. If I'm home, I like to hear the rain falling. But I think for me, it actually gets back to the question right before it. For me, when it rains, I wish I had my own branded umbrellas that I was selling. So with that, we have played Finish the Sentence, ladies and gentlemen. Finish the sentence.
Right.
So with that said, I want to end before the toast with a quote, and that is, forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it. Because at some point, you knew better and you did it anyway, but did you know it, or did you know it after you did it? So, with that said, time to toast. And I want to end this with the toast that we always end it with, and that is to good times with good people.